In the year 3132, a human named Dr. Elias Kerr stood alone before 1,000 alien leaders gathered in the Great Hall of the Galactic Council. He was not a warrior, not a powerful figure, just a quiet historian from Earth. But today, the eyes of the entire galaxy were fixed on him. 1 week ago, a tragic mistake had shaken the stars. A human ship had miscalculated its path and accidentally destroyed an alien colony. Billions were killed. The aliens called it a crime, a declaration of war. Earth was expected to send weapons. Instead, they sent Elias with a message of apology. As he walked into the chamber, silence took over the room. The aliens looked at him with disbelief. Some sneered. Others whispered to each other, mocking the idea of a human saying sorry. They thought humans were weak, ruled by emotion. But Elias's face was calm. He stood straight, looked at them all, and spoke slowly. "We are truly, deeply sorry." Those 5 words stopped the room. It wasn't weakness. It was something else. Something unfamiliar. A few aliens looked nervous. Some shifted in their seats. One ancient commander, known for conquering worlds, began to tremble. No one could understand why, but those words had power. Dangerous power. The chamber stayed quiet long after Elias spoke. His words echoed in the high walls of the council hall. No one moved. Then, suddenly, a voice broke the silence. "Sorry. That's all." It came from a tall alien with silver skin and burning red eyes. He was the prime speaker of the Zarnok Empire, a race known for their pride and power. His voice was filled with anger. "You think words can fix what your people destroyed?" Elias didn't step back. He nodded slowly and said, "No, words can't fix what is broken, but they can stop it from breaking more." The alien laughed coldly, but others in the room were not laughing. They were thinking. Elias took a deep breath and spoke again, this time telling them about Earth. He told them about humanity's long history, wars, mistakes, hate, and destruction, but also how humans learned, how they changed. He said sorry was never a weakness. On Earth, it was the beginning of healing. Then he showed them something, a small glowing crystal. "This holds our history," he said. "Please watch." A hologram rose in the center of the room. It showed images of Earth's darkest times, cities burning, people crying, terrible wars. Then came the moments of change, enemies forgiving, leaders apologizing, families rebuilding. The aliens watched closely, and slowly something began to shift in their eyes. Not fear, not anger, but doubt. Doubt in what they believed about humans. Doubt in their idea of strength. Back on Earth, no one knew what was happening inside the council. All contact had been cut. Some believed Elias was dead. Military leaders prepared for the worst, ready to defend Earth from the full force of alien revenge. But inside the Great Hall, things were changing. The footage Elias showed was spreading across the alien networks, reaching even those outside the council. Entire planets were watching. And for the first time, they saw humans not as violent invaders or emotional fools, but as something more complex. A race that could destroy, yes, but also rebuild. A race that could hurt, and still feel sorry. Inside the chamber, the council began to argue. Some leaders shouted for war. Others asked for calm. The Draxian warlords wanted Earth punished, locked away forever. But the Tellan scholars, known for their wisdom, said they had never seen such honesty in all their years. What kind of species shows its own pain to strangers? One of them asked. Elias stood quietly as the council fought among themselves. Then an alien scientist named Cora Vel stepped forward. She had blue skin and bright silver eyes. She asked Elias one question. "Why show us your scars?" Elias replied, "Because they made us who we are. And if you want to understand us, you need to see what we survived." Later that night, something unexpected happened. A message arrived for the assassin hired to kill Elias. She had watched the video. She was from a race that lost its home in war. And in Elias's voice, she heard something that broke through her hate, regret. She dropped her weapon and walked away. Elias had done something no weapon could. He had made an assassin choose peace. The next morning, the council returned with heavy faces. They had made a decision, but it was not what anyone expected. Earth would not be punished. There would be no attack, no war. Instead, Earth would be watched, studied, and perhaps, one day, understood. The announcement was met with confusion across the galaxy. Some called it weakness. Others called it fear. But Elias knew the truth. "They're afraid," he whispered to himself. "Not of our weapons, but of our ideas." Word spread like wildfire. Across star systems, aliens played the recording of Elias's apology. Some were angry. Others were silent. In many places, young aliens started questioning their own governments. Protests broke out. Alien students held up signs that read, "If humans can change, why can't we?" The power of one apology had started something no army ever could, a shift in thinking. Elias returned to Earth, but he was not the same man. His name had become legend. Some hated him. Some worshipped him. But all knew him. He lived quietly, writing about what he saw, warning the world that peace was not safe. "The council didn't forgive us," he told a friend. "They just don't understand us. And what they don't understand, they fear." Across the stars, secret meetings were held. Some alien powers began to plan in the shadows. They didn't want humans to become symbols of strength through peace. They wanted the old order back, power through fear. But it was too late. The idea had already spread. The galaxy had seen the truth in Elias's words, and they couldn't unsee it. Months passed, and the galaxy did not forget what Elias had said. On many alien worlds, small groups began to gather in secret, not to plot war, but to talk, to question, to wonder if there was another way. Some leaders feared these talks more than any weapon, because they knew ideas were harder to kill than soldiers. Elias's message had become a quiet rebellion across the stars, carried in whispers, in recordings, in dreams of something better. And though Earth had no seat of power in the council, its voice was now echoing in places no army had ever reached. Elias stayed in a small house by the sea, away from politics, away from noise. He spent his days writing, sending messages to those who wanted peace, and warning them that change was never easy. "The moment you speak the truth," he once said, "you become dangerous to those who survive on lies." One evening, a small silver ship landed outside his home. A child stepped out, an alien girl with green skin and wide eyes. She held a recording device. "I saw your speech," she said softly. "My people told me to hate humans, but I saw something different. I saw hope." She paused. "I want to learn how to say sorry." Elias looked at her, his eyes filled with emotion. In that moment, he knew the fight wasn't over, but it was worth it, because one apology had shaken the galaxy. And now, even in the farthest corners of space, others were learning the same powerful truth. Kindness was not weakness. It was the beginning of something unstoppable.